Most new mortgage brokers worry about the wrong things before an interview. They focus on technical knowledge, rules, regulations, and they're trying to sound impressive. But that is not what most interviews are really testing, okay? Employers aren't trying to catch you out. They're trying to work out whether you're a safe investment. So let's be clear what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to look at what employers are actually assessing in interviews, the type of questions you should expect, and how new mortgage brokers should approach their answers. So what are employers really assessing in interviews? You see, a trainee mortgage broker interview is not an exam. It is a risk assessment, okay? Employers are asking themselves one question throughout the entire process, which is, can I trust this person with clients, compliance, and also responsibility? That's why most interview questions are going to be designed to test attitude, self-awareness, reliability, and coachability. They already know that you're inexperienced. What they want to know is whether or not you're trainable. So then what are the type of questions you should be expecting? Most interviews for trainee roles follow a very similar pattern, okay? You'll usually be asked questions around why you want to become a mortgage broker, what you understand about the role day to day, how you handle responsibility and pressure, how you respond to feedback and structure. You might also get scenario style questions, not to test your knowledge, okay, but to test how you think. Employers are listening for judgment, not perfect answers. So how do you answer the question, why do you want to be a mortgage broker? Well, this is one of the most important questions and one of the most commonly misunderstood. Employers are not looking for the I like to help people or I want a good career. What they want to hear is that you understand the responsibility of regulated advice, the long-term nature of this career, that success comes from process, not shortcuts. Honesty matters way more than polish at this point. A thoughtful, grounded answer beats a confident but shallow one every single time. So then how do you talk about your lack of experience? So you don't need to hide it. In fact, trying to sound more experienced than you usually are is going to backfire. Strong candidates are going to say things like what they've done to learn about the role, what they know they still need to develop, why they're comfortable starting with admin and casework, and how they expect to learn on the job. You see, this shows maturity. Employers would rather hire someone realistic than someone who is overconfident. So what questions should you be ready to ask them? You see, interviews go both ways. Employers notice when candidates ask good questions. So you should be ready to ask about training and supervision, expectations in the first year, how progression works, what a good trainee looks like in their business. See, this shows that you are thinking long-term, not just trying to get into the door and just get that kind of cash status. See, what interviews not testing? You see, mortgage broker interviews are not testing how much you've memorized, whether you're salesy, how confident you sound, and whether you are ready to advise. They're testing whether you can be trusted to learn properly. See, the real lesson here is that interviews for trainee mortgage broker roles aren't about being impressive. They're about being prepared, realistic, and more importantly, responsible. See, new mortgage brokers who succeed, they don't try to prove they know absolutely everything. They show they understand what they don't know and that they're willing to learn it properly. That is what employers are really listening for. And when you approach interviews with that mindset, the questions stop feeling intimidating and they start feeling straightforward. But interviewing is only one part of the process. How do you actually get and find the jobs in the first place? Well, if you want to know how to find trainee roles as a mortgage broker, check out this video on screen where I break that down in a bit more detail. Give it a click.